That system is no good. They harm the sheep. They harm pastors. Leaders are suffering. That's a system of works. That's a system where the weak, they say, I am weaker. In that system, say, you are super weak. And let the weak say, he is dying. Well, in grace, the weak can say, I am strong, because he that promised will fulfill his promise. Amen? Well, let's listen to the great apostle of grace speaking it in English, pure English. Second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 10. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in what? In weaknesses. This is tremendous. This seems contrary. Pastor, how for the love and the sake of Christ, I'm going to glory in weaknesses? You know that all these seminaries that teach in these Christian schools, they glory for how great they are as Christians. For you to be a great Christian, you have to discover, who are you in the flesh? You're profitable for nothing. If I know that I am weak and that you are weak when I get up here behind this pulpit, I have to have that in account. If I get up here with a sledgehammer to call you ignorant and foolish and that you are such a bad Christian and I am such a great one, and boasting in my great works and the calluses I have on my knees because I pray so much, when I am doing that, I am in pure ignorance of who I truly am. And now look at what Paul says in verse 10. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses and persecution and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Look at what it says in verse 5. Of such a man I will boast, yet of myself I will not boast, except in my weaknesses. That such a man he referred to is the man in the spirit that went to the third heavens, in the spirit man. But of myself in nothing, because when I reckon that I am weak, it's when the power of God is manifest. Why does Paul speak about the weaknesses of the flesh like that? Because he wants you to reckon that it is profitable for nothing. He is clear. He dismantles it completely, so you may boast in the power of God, because that is the only way we can love one another. Yes. Where this is clarified is when you understand this truth, because we do not judge no one, because we are all made of the same material and we are prone to forgive. Yes. Love reigns in the congregation without you making any efforts. Love is established in all of the congregation, because when you discover that in the flesh we are nothing, we have more mercy before pointing fingers and before we judge. That's why there are so many divisions and diversity. When the flesh is stimulated, the flesh to flesh to flesh, that's when you start to point and judge. But when you discover that in the flesh we are all weak, but that through faith we enter into a glorious victory, then you can't boast on what you've accomplished, because what you've accomplished, you haven't fabricated, you haven't created it, but you've received it by grace.